Hey everybody, it's Jeremy with All Bases Covered Emergency Training. And today we're going to take a look at the Zoleo Satellite Communicator. If you don't know anything about this product, that's totally fine because we're going to walk through all the functions and all the bells and whistles that come on this thing. But basically, this is a two-way satellite communication tool. So it pairs to your phone and enables you to have two-way communication even if you don't have cell service. So you find yourself deep in the woods or in an area where there's no bars, this will connect to the satellites and your messages will still get through. It also has an SOS function. So if you find yourself in an emergency and you need to get someone to you quickly, then you hit this button and it'll send a signal and someone will come to help. So let's take a look inside the box and see what this guy has to offer. All right, so the first thing that we really want to do right now is we want to boot this bad boy up. So we're going to hit the power button. We're going to go ahead and hold it. It's going to turn on. The next thing we want to do, now with anything satellite-based, whether it's your messaging unit, a sat phone, a navigation GPS, anything satellite-based, you want to have a good clear view to the sky. The more overhead coverage, whether it's a roof, you're indoors, maybe you're right next to a cliff and you're getting having a hard time connecting to the satellites, or you're in really dense timber, you will want to give this a good clear view to the sky. So avoid overhead coverage. You don't want to put things on top of it, especially when you first turn this on. What you want to do is, if you're having a hard time connecting to the satellites, move the device out of the dense clearing, out of the dense timber, out of the building, so that it gets a good clear view to the sky. And this is going to connect much better. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to move this guy out into outside so that it gets a good connection to the satellites, and then we're going to come back and look at this thing on the app. All right. So I have the Zoleo unit outside so that it's got a better connection to the satellites. And now let's take a look at what the app does. Here's the app up here. You just click on it. And this is what you're working with right here. Very, very simple, very easy to work with. And I want to mention real quick, I tested this unit out in the woods the other day extensively, and I tried to do like screen recordings and stuff like that, but it's really hard to record what you're doing on your phone when you're also using your phone to record stuff. So this is me in the studio showing you all this stuff after the fact. But I checked in with a lot of different people. I sent a ton of messages. I deleted those messages before I pulled up the app because I don't want to be giving anyone's phone numbers away. But this is what you're looking at. It's really simple. So, all your messages would be here. To send a new message, you click that top button up there. And then down here, if you click on this, this is your sat screen. Now, right now the signal's popping in and out, mostly because the unit is outside my window here. But for those of you familiar with GPS units, this is your sat screen. It'll give you your battery life. It'll tell you how well your signal strength is with satellites and the last time you checked in. Down here, if you click that icon, this is your current weather. It's beautiful here in just outside Portland, Oregon. You can use your SOS function from your phone, or you can change all your settings. Here we go. We're starting to see some satellite signal there. So you can change all these settings. Now, again, this is a tester unit. It was sent to me by Zoleo. So they set up all this information for me ahead of time, but it's pretty straightforward. You put in an email, your cell phone number, and a couple other cell phone numbers to reach out to. And that's it. It's pretty straightforward. And there you have it, right? That's the whole unit from soup to nuts, from start to finish. Not overly complicated to set up, really simple to use. You saw the app, how the functionality is. So let's talk about what I like about this and some things that wouldn't say I don't like them, but some things that are different or maybe could be improved on. What do I like about this? First of all, I really like that it works off the Iridium satellite cluster. It's a very reliable satellite system, so that's great. I like reliability. I also like that it works off of whatever it's connected to at the time. So if I send a message and all of a sudden my phone gets Wi-Fi, well, that's going to be an easier signal to send, right? An easier message. So that's going to get through. So it uses different systems on whatever your phone is connected to. I could go back and forth on the lack of a screen. I could say that's a bonus because, I'm already using the phone to send messages. but having a screen as a backup in case my phone dies and I still need to send a message, you know, it could be like if it's an emergency and I need to send a message, then I might want that screen. But if it's that big of an emergency, I'd probably use the SOS function. What else do I like about this? I like the price tag on it. At $200, it's, you know, the cheapest satellite messaging tool that I've seen, stacked up next to all its competitors by like 150 bucks. So price didn't exactly affect functionality, right? It still has all the functions that its competitors have, but because they cut some of like the screen and some of those other things out, you get the same satellite messaging capabilities at a more affordable rate. And then when you look at some of the competitors, you know, they all have a monthly subscription, yearly subscription, kind of like having a cell phone plan, right? You buy your cell phone, but you still have to have a plan to go with it. I think they're a wash. Like, you know, they're pretty close in their pricing. So I like the price to buy the unit, and then you can pay for a monthly subscription. And if you're not using it, you just suspend the account for $4 a month. Right? Don't use it for a couple months. It's $8, whatever. And then you boot it back up. You're going to use it all the time. So I like that. What are some of the things I think they could improve upon? You know, I've had this question with many of the different messaging tools, you know, the different companies that sell these products, and the SOS function, okay? If you do not have a current active subscription, this button will not work. So if I break my leg, I'm crawling through the woods, and I find one of these, and I turn it on and hit that button, and this does not have a subscription, this signal will not send help. Now, that is not unique to the Zoleo unit. That is all of the products that are like this, unless you're using a traditional PLB, a personal locator beacon. This is not a traditional PLB. It is a messaging tool with an SOS function. So I'm hoping that at some point they'll have like if you hit the SOS, we'll do something, right? Maybe they'll try and message you through the app. I don't know, but I think that that's a drawback that most of these units have. I also think they could have upped their game on the position formatting. Now, what does that mean? Position formatting is, the type of navigation language this is speaking, okay? So latitude and longitude, the UTM grid system, whatever you have it set up to, this has one setting, latitude and longitude in degrees. So if you're trying to send coordinates to somebody, you're only going to get it in one specific language, and you can't change that position formatting. And some of the other units claim to have navigation capabilities. This does not. And again, this could go either way for me, because when people tell me, like with the big competitor of the Zoleo, oh, I've got this as my navigation tool, I say that is a very poor navigation tool. It's not going to get the job done. You need something much better. So if I'm going to be navigating in the field, I'm going to use a GPS unit that is designed for land navigation. So they could have gone either way with this. They could have said, well, we're going to, show our competitors up and really up the navigation. Or they're going to say, nobody's really going to use this for that purpose. Let's focus on the most important, elements of this and get rid of the rest. So it's not necessarily a con, it's just a change. So other than that, I really like this unit. I think that I'm going to start using this in the field. We've used several other ones in our survival courses, and I just think that since I'm always taking my phone with me, I've been using it with the other units. I think I'm a fan. So Zoleo, good job, well done. I like what you got. All right, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Make sure if you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, because we have a lot more product reviews coming. We're going to do some more tips and tricks. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.